A very warm welcome to all our viewers in this next session of our Expert Talk series. Rödl and Partner presents The Lighthouse, Talks with our India experts. In today's episode, we aim to decode the importance of contract management in India. Today we have with us Anand Choudhary. He is a senior professional at Rödl and Partner and a qualified law graduate and company secretary. Anand has an expertise in the commercial contract and he has previously worked for multinational companies as General Counsel and Compliance Officer. Welcome, Anand.
Thank you, Anushrii, for having me here.
So, Anand, our today's topic, importance of contract management. Can you please elaborate the topic for our viewers?
Sure, Anushrii. So, we all have a basic understanding of how contracts are typically executed in India. In various organizations, it is generally the legal department that is responsible for vetting and execution of the contracts. While most organizations understand the importance of managing a life cycle of contract, this process is often ignored, which has huge operational risk, often leading to losses. Managing life cycle of a contract broadly includes drafting, reviewing, tracking, and storage of the contract.
That's very informative, Anand. It surely is very important to understand this in detail. So can you please tell our viewers where the life cycle of contract management begins?
Sure, Anushrii. So the life cycle of contract execution starts from drafting and reviewing of a contract. It is very important that the contract is drafted, reviewed and negotiated in such a way that business goals of both the parties are met and the legal risk that the contract poses are minimized. It is very important that the contract terms are clearly written so that there is no scope of misinterpretation.
Yes.
Once the business requirements are clearly spelled out and the commercial terms are agreed, the contract is good for execution.
Very nicely explained, Anand. Thanks. What are the next steps in the contract management life cycle following the review of the draft contract, or does the process end here?
No, the process does not end here. In fact, review is only the first step. Once the contract terms are finalized, it is important that the contract is executed as per the process of law and the applicable stamp duty is paid on the contract. The contract then needs to be signed by the authorized officials such as directors or the key managerial person who provide it a legally binding effect. However, in case any other person signs it on behalf of the company, it has to be backed up by a lawful authorization like a board resolution or a power of attorney, basically empowering the person to execute the contract on behalf of the organization. This is important because we have seen instances where in litigation, organizations have to prove the existence of a valid contract before the court because the contract was not executed by the duly authorized officials or where the requisite stamp duty was not paid for execution of the contract.
Upon execution of the contract, what best practice shall a company implement to easily manage the contract?
Right. Well, in my view, upon completion of execution of the contract, as a good practice for an organization shall be to track the obligations it has or is liable to perform under the executed contract. Assistance of internal legal team or external legal consultants is considered by the management to precisely list down the important timelines under the contract. Such a list can then be shared with the stakeholders in the business operations team to easily track and perform the duties under the contract and avoid any default or breach of the contractual terms. The management of the organization can also use this list to simplify their understanding of the contract and make faster decisions.
So upon execution and mapping of the obligation in the contract, what shall be the next step?
The next step is safekeeping and archival of the contract. The contract once executed has to be stored properly. That is, the hard copy should be properly maintained and the soft copies should be saved on safe and easily available digital resources, such as the company's server. As a good practice, the contracts can be stored in department-specific folders with access to only authorized members of the department. A repository of all contracts executed by the company should normally be centralized with the compliance or the legal department for safe custody. The original and soft copies should be stored in such a way that they can be pulled out easily during audit or during a dispute requiring the contract copy to be produced before the court. Each organization can further evaluate all the steps and develop adequate systems and processes so as to ensure a smooth contract lifecycle journey.
So according to you, Anand, according to your experience in this field, what are usually the problems or challenges people face regarding the contract management?
The most common challenge is the absence of any system or process to track the terms of the contract, which often leads to issues like 1. Not being aware of the term of the contract. Such a simple oversight often leads to non-renewal of contracts in a timely manner, which can cause cash flow and supply chain issues. Second, the contract documents are not archived properly and are not able to be produced when required. Third, the obligations under the agreement that are stipulated are not being completed, thereby leading to disputes. For example, there are price escalation clauses that are agreed. There are penal interest clauses that are negotiated. However, these are often not implemented because the communication does not happen to the concerned team for implementing. Fourth, non-tracking of post-termination obligations.
What is the last piece of advice you would like to give to our viewers to ensure an easy adherence to the contract management requirement?
Well, Anushrii, contract management is not a technical topic. So my only advice to the clients would be that they track the entire life cycle of the contract, right from the drafting stage till the end of the contract. Yeah. The only way forward I see is digitization. If this entire process is digitized, all the risks get mitigated. Yeah. And let me tell you one thing, Anushrii, at Rödl & Partner, we are experts. We can help our clients to effectively manage their entire contract life cycle.
Yes, absolutely, Anand. And with this, we will end our session for today. Thank you so much for this wonderful session. I'm sure this will benefit our viewers to understand the contract management in India.
Thank you, Anushrii, for having me here. I will definitely share my insights with our viewers, and I'll be more than happy to address any queries which our viewers might have in this regard.
Anand's contact details are given in the bio of this video. With that, we conclude our today's session. Dear viewers, we would be delighted to remain connected with you via our series Rödl & Partner presents The Lighthouse, Talks with our India Experts. Thank you for watching our today's informative video. Until then, please be safe, grow your business and play by the rules.